So today we're going to draw out the alphabet using a very simple lettering technique. So if you want to learn how to do lettering like this, it's a really good idea to learn how to construct letters using simple shapes first of all. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So we're just going to use a ruler and a pencil, and I've got a piece of plain paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself some guidelines. Now guidelines are the lines that basically it's the top and the bottom level of the letter. So if you use these lines and make sure that the letters touch the top and the bottom, you'll know that your letters are all roughly a regular size. So it's the reason why people who do lettering, calligraphers and lettering artists use guidelines. Very few would just go straight in without these lines. So all I'm doing here is I'm using the thickness of a ruler, and I've just completely done the same thing across the page. I've got 4 sets of guidelines. So these are the marks I'm going to be making today. So I've got a straight line down, and then I've got a circle, and you can see I've just made them into sort of bubble lettering. So I'm going to start off by drawing out my lettering shape. So 2 straight lines for the A, and then 1 going across, 1 straight line down for the B, and then 2 semicircles for the curly bits. The C is based on an oval or a circle, and you can see all I'm doing is constructing it inside the shape. The D is again a straight line and a semicircle. The E is a series of straight lines, a little one at the top, a little one at the bottom, and then 1 in the middle. Now the F is exactly the same without the little line at the bottom. So you've got your straight line down and then the 2, the top and the middle line to create the F. Okay, the G is based again on an oval, and it's almost like the C, but you add a little extra bit at the end to make the G. I'm just correcting that mistake I've made. The H is constructed of 2 straight lines down and 1 in the middle going across. The I is 1 straight line and then 2 little bits on either end. The J, it's a line going down, 1 at the top, and then I'm bringing a curved line up at the bottom. The K is quite difficult, so I normally do a straight line down, a little V, then another line, a little V, and then another line above it. L, 1 straight line down and 1 little line at the bottom. M is 2 diagonal lines, a V in the middle, a V underneath that V, and then make those lines a bit thicker. Next is the N, so we've got 2 straight lines down and 1 little diagonal line in between them. O is a circle or an oval, and then just make that line thicker. A little O in the middle. P is very similar to the B, but it's just got 1 little semicircle at the top. Q again is a circle or an oval, and then a little straight line that breaks up the circle at the bottom. R again is like the P or the B, but then you add a little bit of a diagonal line coming out of it. S is quite hard, it's a snowman shape, and then just watch what I do. So I put a little line and I copy the curve at the top, and then on the inside I copy the curve at the bottom. T is quite easy, a straight line across and a straight line down. U, 2 lines down and then you curve them at the bottom. V, a diagonal line, a little V, and then you join up your lines. W is an M upside down, so 2 diagonal lines, a little V at the bottom, a V above it, and then join up the straight lines. Okay, so we've got X is 1 diagonal and then another diagonal at the opposite side. So you can do a little V again and take that line right the way through to create the X, Y, a little diagonal line, and then a full diagonal line on the other side, and Z is a line at the top, a line at the bottom, and join them with a diagonal line. You can see I had to tweak that one a bit. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have a go at the lowercase. So I don't know if you can see, but I've actually divided my ruler with guidelines in half. The measurement is 1.5 centimeters, so it's 3 centimeters the width of the ruler. So at the point of 1.5 centimeters, I'm making a mark, and then I'm measuring again to get 1.5 centimeters, just to get the middle line, because I'm going to be using the middle line to create the different heights of my small letters, the lowercase alphabet I'm going to do. So I'm just creating a little mini guideline inside my existing guideline. It'll all make sense in a minute. So just using these guidelines to help me draw the correct width and height of the letters. So I'm going to start off with a small a. So it's a little semicircle, and then drawing the width, and then a little straight line down. Right, I'm going to zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. Okay, so there's my A. So next we've got the B, so it's a circle with a straight line. I've speeded this up because you sort of get the idea now. So all I'm doing is doing the smaller versions, the lowercase versions. Hopefully you'll be able to see how I'm creating these letters now. Again, always just using a straight line or a curved line and doubling them up so they're more like bubble lettering. Just correcting that a little bit. So the small M, and then the N. O, obviously circle, P, semicircle, straight line, Q, R, S is the same again, but smaller, T again, Okay, so there's the full alphabet. So now what I want to show you is how you can embellish these letters. So you can add what we call a serif, which is the sort of fancy edge on your letter. And you can take letters above or below the guideline once you've got your basic shape. Darken up the line that you want to keep and then rub out the bits you don't need. So you can do any style of lettering on top of these basic shapes. I've chosen to go for something sort of like a bit like a graffiti style, so it's a little bit more designery. So I've got, they're not exactly, all letters aren't exactly like each other. I'm just trying to make the serif, the sort of fancy bit, a little bit more stylized. So you can see that I'm just giving each letter a little bit more shape, taking it a little bit darker. And I could do that with the whole of the alphabet. But these are the basic shapes that you want to be able to construct before you start trying to design or develop different styles of fonts. So I hope you found that instructive. So you can use this and practice doing this before you start doing your own types of lettering. I do hope you found this useful, and well, let me know in the comments.